Just when you thought you could turn your back and walk away, the dark cloud of human indignity follows you. You have no choice but to turn and look it in the eye. It's the sex offender hit list.
Head down to Florida. A Park Elementary School resource teacher was arrested on Thursday after parents contacted the Highlands County Sheriff's Office and reported that he was inappropriately touching students. Yes, students, more than one. Deputies say 45-year-old Jeremy Miles Gray is facing 6 charges related to lewd and lascivious behavior. According to the school board of Highlands County, Gray was first hired by the district on November 5th of 2020 at Sun and Lake Elementary, but had worked at Park Elementary School since 2021. According to the Sheriff's Office, they received the first complaint on April 22nd. Several parents came forward and told authorities that their daughters were touched inappropriately. According to the arrest report, Gray is accused of intentionally touching the breasts of a child under 12 years old and intentionally touching the buttocks or clothing covering them of a child under 12 years old as well. Gray is also accused of hugging a child under the age of 16 all the time, pulling her to him, touching her back, and making her shirt come up while rubbing her. Investigators say Gray also pulled a child under the age of 16 onto his lap with his 2 hands and pulled her towards him by placing his hands on her hips. Detectives say Gray's alleged misconduct was reported by students April 21st, and according to deputies, the students were called to the office and parents of the students were then contacted. The investigation revealed that there was a previous incident also involving Gray in April of 22, when a teacher reported that he made 4 girls feel uncomfortable. Officials say school staff investigated and notified DCF. However, DCF declined to accept the report, according to the Sheriff's Office. When officials spoke to Gray during that investigation, he told them that he only remembered touching 2 students when he separated them with his hands because they were goofing off. Gray was reminded to not put himself in a position where he was alone with students, according to those investigators. Gray was found and arrested in downtown Sebring on Thursday. He was on the phone with a lawyer's office and declined to speak with the SVU. According to the county sheriff's office there, he did give detectives the name of a different lawyer's office he spoke with on the previous day. Well, as a result of the investigation, Mr. Gray was arrested on Thursday, April 25th, and he's being held in the county jail with no bond. See ya, Chomo. The teacher who became the subject of a Lifetime movie after admitting to trying to kill a teenager with whom he had been intimate with is a free man now. Samson Shelton, 44-year-old, was released on parole Monday, April 22nd. Shelton was booked into the Illinois River Correctional Center in June of 2007 after being convicted of the 2006 attempted murder of Ashley Reeves, who was then just 17 years old. At the time, Shelton was a driver's education teacher and a professional wrestler, get this, called The Teacher. The teenager had been reported missing in April of 2006, and Shelton became the target of the 30-hour missing persons case when law enforcement learned that she had been involved with the then 26-year-old. Shelton had previously taught at a middle school where she had once been a student. And while questioned on camera by investigators, Reeves said the two had had sex at one time and had subsequently gotten into an altercation while he was driving her around. He placed her in a chokehold and he broke her neck, and then her body went limp. He discarded her body in a wooded area at Citizens Park in Belleville, telling investigators he wanted to make it look like she got strangled there. To enhance that effect, he put his belt around her neck. Leaving her in the park, investigators said Shelton went line dancing at a country bar after that. Well, following his confession, investigators went to the woods to recover Reeves' body, but they found her alive instead. Suffering from brain trauma, Reeves has had to learn how to swallow, walk, and talk again. Per his inmate records, Shelton will serve 3 years on parole, ending April 22nd, 2027.
I'm I'm gonna give you solitary confinement for 99 years.
A former teacher from Texas was arrested on allegations that she sexually assaulted multiple boys. This is 25-year-old Jaden Charles. She was arrested and charged Tuesday with 2 counts of grooming and 2 counts of aggravated sexual assault of a child. Charles has since resigned from teaching at the Agua Dulce School District. We do have parents that were concerned and made some calls about their children being with a teacher, the Alice Police Department's Chief Eden Garcia said. We do have a video of the teacher with a student at one of the hotels. The Agua Dulce City's Marshal's Office charged Charles with the aggravated sexual assault offenses after an investigation into vaping on campus. The investigation allegedly found that Charles allegedly gave vapes to male students and sexually assaulted multiple males. These alleged incidents occurred prior to Charles working as a teacher with the district. The investigation remains ongoing, and authorities say that they are continuing to interview potential victims. Charles is being held in the Jim Wells County Jail on a $400,000 bond. See ya, Chomet. We'll head over to Tuscaloosa, where we have a former Hewitt-Trustville Middle School substitute teacher. He's been sentenced to jail after pleading guilty to 5 felony counts of possessing child sexual abuse material. This is Justin Harin Stiegel of Northport. He'd been working as a substitute teacher at the middle school there for the past couple years, and he was working there at the time of his arrest by the Northport police. Stiegel initially pleaded not guilty to the charges, but changed his plea to guilty in February. Judge James Roberts handed down Stiegel's sentence earlier this month on April 17th. It's a little confusing because Roberts sentenced Stiegel to 10 years in prison on each of the 5 felony counts, so that would be 50 years, right? But he ordered the sentences to be served concurrently, which means it's only 10 years instead of 50. And then he suspended 8 years and 6 months of that time, meaning Stiegel will only serve 18 months in jail. It's insane. How do you go from 50 years to just 18 months? Court documents show an anonymous informant came forward to the Northport police with concerns the teacher had suspicious images of students on his phone. The informant also believed that Stiegel was carrying on a text exchange with a minor at the time. According to a court deposition, an investigator with the went to the home of Justin Stiegel, who's 22 by the way, and asked him about the allegations. The investigator said Stiegel admitted to having a problem with child sexual abuse material, and also said Stiegel had been watching child sexual abuse material for years, and he wanted help. He gave the officer his login and password information for his phone and laptop. The officer said he found 5 images of child sexual abuse material. According to the deposition, those images included young naked boys. It is unknown if the images were of students or not.
Now get in there!
An Ocean Springs High physics teacher admitted having sex with a minor student in her car and at his home for months before his arrest, a criminal investigator at the Jackson County Sheriff's Department said Tuesday. James Donald Hawkins II, 38-year-old, is being held on a charge of sexual battery, though additional charges are expected. His attorney wants Judge Calvin Taylor to grant a bond for his client pending indictment. However, the investigator and Assistant District Attorney Bill Barrett want Hawkins to remain in custody pending indictment, based on what Hawkins said during interviews. In those interviews, Hawkins said he had sex with the student, who's a 17-year-old, for at least 1 month at the home in Fort Bayou Estates that he shared with his wife and young toddler, and also had sex in a car at Walmart. The investigation into alleged wrongdoing by Hawkins began when the teen and her parents reported the crimes on November 30th. Afterwards, the teen told the investigator the relationship started when she was upset about something that had happened at school, and then Hawkins moved in to groom and comfort her. Though he was married, Hawkins said the relationship between him and the girl had moved quicker than he thought it would, and that the two planned to elope to Louisiana. In an earlier court appearance, Hawkins said he didn't know what he was doing with the girl was a crime. Yeah, right, buddy. Well, Judge Taylor set bond at $150,000 and ordered Hawkins to stay away from the victim and her family. The judge added that Hawkins is not to go by the victim's home or otherwise. If you happen to bump into her in public, you need to leave that place, he also said, immediately. Hawkins had been teaching at Ocean Springs High for over a year. Before that, he worked in physics as a graduate student at Mississippi State U, according to his LinkedIn profile. Hawkins was fired from his position at the Ocean Springs High after his arrest. I would hope so. A Mecklenburg County public schools teacher has been arrested for illegally taking indecent liberties with a student. On Monday, April 22nd, a Mecklenburg County grand jury charged Claire Wright Mitchell of South Hill with one felony count of taking indecent liberties with a child by a person in custodial or supervisory relationship, and one felony count of using the internet, a computer network, or other communication device to solicit sex with a minor. The charges stem from an incident or incidents that took place in August of last year, according to court records. Mitchell had been a physical education and health teacher. Sure doesn't look like it by looking at her, does it? Anyways, Mitchell was not arrested until April 23rd, though she had been absent from school for several months. She is currently being held in the Meherrin River Regional Jail. Reached for comment, Superintendent of Schools Scott Warmer said he was not at liberty to discuss the case nor Mitchell's status with the school division, citing confidential personnel matters. Mitchell's next court date is set for May 8th, so it's coming up pretty soon here, at which he is expected to be advised about some attorney arrangements. So just sentence her to life and be done with it. See ya, Chomet.
Let me out of here! Let me out of here!
Georgia. A Cedartown High School coach has been arrested after being accused of having an inappropriate relationship with a student. Micah Phillip Banks, a 27-year-old, was arrested on Thursday and charged with improper sexual contact. The Polk County School District released the following statement about that arrest. On April 14th, Polk School District officials received allegations of an inappropriate relationship between a teacher and a student. In accordance with standard operating protocols, school officials immediately contacted law enforcement and continues to cooperate fully in their investigation. This chomo here, Mr. Banks, was terminated from his position according to the school officials. And according to jail records, he has since been bonded out of jail. No word on when his next appearance in court will be. St. Petersburg Police Department arrested a 31-year-old teacher from Pinellas on charges related to engaging in sexual acts with a 16-year-old student. Connor Westrate, a teacher at Pinellas Micro School, a public charter high school located in St. Petersburg, was arrested around 8:30 p.m. Friday on the charge of unlawful sexual activity with minors. According to an arrest affidavit, Westrate knew the 16-year-old victim. A voicemail and email to the charter school seeking comment was not returned as of a couple days ago. According to Westrate's affidavit, he met the 16-year-old girl at a hotel in downtown St. Petersburg and engaged in sex with her. Westrate told the police after he was read his Miranda rights that the 16-year-old said she was 18. Well, they know each other. He knows she's 16. She goes to the same school that he teaches in. How can he not? Westrate was booked into the Pinellas County Jail late Friday, and he was released after posting a $10,000 bail on that charge and another $2,000 bail on an unrelated misdemeanor charge of failure to appear in court for petty theft in Orange County. What a thieving chomo.
I'd like to know what dirty stone pigeon squealed on me.
He woke up to pain that he found when he was stung by a scorpion in his testicles.
A woman who won the Best of the Best Teaching Award has been arrested for allegedly sleeping with a 16-year-old student. 32-year-old Elizabeth Scroggs was charged with sexual assault by persons with supervisory or disciplinary authority after an anonymous phone call alerted officials to evidence of an alleged relationship between Scroggs and a student. Captain Rick Swiney from the Whitfield County Sheriff's Department told local press The liaison between Cowhula Creek High School teacher and the student was reportedly consensual. "I was shocked," said Julia Gilreth, the superintendent for Whitfield County Schools. "The teacher has a good reputation, has a good rapport with students, and was well thought of at the school. We really don't deal with this type of situation very often, if ever," she said. Scroggs had been at the Cowhula Creek High since 2011 and was the assistant cheerleading coach, also, according to police administrators, and a good teacher as well, they said. Details about the relationship have not been revealed, but reports have indicated that the relationship activity did not occur on school property. She's due to appear in court soon here and has been suspended from all teaching duties. See ya, Chomet. The Westford Police Department's Detectives Bureau received a report that a Bedford middle school teacher possibly touched a student inappropriately. The teacher was identified as Arthur Ellis. The complainant stated that she had Mr. Ellis for a class, and it was alleged that the inappropriate touching occurred this past December during class time. The detective assigned to this case conducted an extensive investigation, and based on the results, a warrant for Mr. Ellis's arrest was completed and signed by a Superior Court judge. On the afternoon of April 27th, Mr. Ellis turned himself in at the Westport Police Department. Per the warrant, he was charged with sexual assault in the 4th degree and risk of injury to a child. Mr. Ellis was released after posting a $100,000 bond and is scheduled to be arraigned at Stamford Superior Court on May 6th.
I'm gonna give you solitary confinement for 99 years.
A 43-year-old teacher in San Bernardino County has been arrested after allegations of inappropriate conduct with a 16-year-old girl, and is believed he may have additional victims, the authorities announced Wednesday. Investigators with San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department's Specialized Investigations Division, the Crimes Against Children detail, responded to reports of the incident at Excelsior Charter Schools on April 24th. Authorities say that the Victorville resident Brett David Dahl, a teacher at the charter schools, was identified as the suspect. At the conclusion of the investigation, Dahl was arrested and booked into the High Desert Detention Center in Adelanto. The 45-year-old teacher is facing charges of contacting a minor to commit a felony, meeting with a minor for lewd purposes, child endangerment, and child abduction. Dahl's bail was set at $60,000. It's kind of really low, if you ask me, for crimes like those. The suspect's photograph was released because the detectives believe there may be additional victims. I think so too. Look at this chomo. It's even got it written on his forehead. Almost. Let's fix that. There you go. Chomo.
Happy birthday, dear Ellie.
Now, Ellie, remember, this is our special secret.
Okay, Uncle Jim.
1 in 5 children is sexually abused before they turn 18.
Make a wish, but remember, it's a secret.
Do you know the signs?
I just want everyone to go home.
Learn more about the risks of child sexual abuse at sapria.org.